Let's turn this brightness down so we don't burn through the battery. Keep forgetting to do that often. No, that's good. We fairly early, not as early as Gracie wanted, but here we go. We do the best we can. All right, let's get sorted. So, going to grab a few bits and pieces and get on with some firewood collection. It's that kind of day. So, I'll just need the saw and the bag. I think the saw can go in the pocket and carry the bag maybe, or actually the bag got a big old leg pocket. It's one of the handy things of, like, I don't think these are cargo trousers, but they're the kind of the cargo kind of, what do you call it? The big leg pocket. That'll work, won't it? Right, let's just make sure that's actually level as well, because that will help. There we go. What else do I need? Let's put a light on there. I'll have one in the pocket so I can see what I'm doing out there. I think that's enough lights there. Shouldn't need too many. Just do a little bit of wood collection. I won't have a fire out there today, but we'll come back and we'll hopefully be back before the stove is out. I'm going to say the stove is very nearly on its last legs. I think it might last for, I don't know, I think half an hour tops in there, but that might be asking a lot. So yeah, been a bit of a rush sort of afternoon again. Got out really late for work. My ability to get up and get going in the morning is legendarily bad right now, but got the work done lickety split as per usual, and yeah, now ready to just get back outside into the cold. It was a nice sunny day, but it's still quite cold. Hey, you're in, Gracie. How you doing? I was just about to head out. You still working? Excuse me, I'm not gonna burp. I thought I had a burp coming. There we go. Good kinda. Well, if you're able to take your cat to work with you and get the they get the lap cuddles, whatever it is you're calling them, while you're working, that's not a bad job. If you get to come and watch me on the stream and have your cat with you at work, I don't know what it is you're doing, but whatever it is, it must be a pretty sweet gig, to be fair. If you're getting to do all that and still getting paid, that sounds like a winner to me. Oh dear. Dinner break, fair play. Oh, is that why you kept asking about times and stuff? Because you want to know so you can have your dinner break? Yeah, you keep saying trucks, but I know you're not a truck driver. Well, not unless something else you've told me is a fib, because you're supposed to be 16 years old. So I don't think there's any 16-year-old truck drivers out there. Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it must be something else that you do. So you say trucks, but then, like, what? Are you like sitting around in an office somewhere doing something to do with them, or are you a driver's mate? I don't know what I mean, you're just like vague as hell with this stuff, which is fine. If you don't want to answer me, just say you don't want to say, but you like to play the guessing game with me, which is a bit like frustrating. Right, I'm going to get cracking. Oh, we're 17 now. Okay, but still, I don't think that you're a truck driver, because or a lorry driver, because I know how all the stuff works on that, and the insurance for somebody at that age to be a lorry driver would be astronomical. So normally they want someone older than that, especially if you've only just passed your test. So I'm still thinking you're not anything as a driver. So you're still being vague as hell. And your story, I tell you, it changes way too much. I start to wonder if I should even believe half what you tell me these days, I tell you. What with you jumping in as different people as well. Right. I think I'll leave everything in here as it is. So So does that mean you've had a birthday recently then, and I've missed it? Because if so, happy birthday. But yeah, right. I need a key. Oh, I've got the van key in my other pocket still. Make sure everything's locked up at the front. Right, don't need that light on. Don't want that one on. Right, so that's all good to go. I don't think I need anything else. Yeah, I'm not planning to have a fire. I'm just going to go over and get some. It's mostly I want kindling. I'm running low on kindling. Right. That's why I actually dry my cloths, contrary to what Tim might think with me drying them inside. Well, let me put a bit of light on. Yeah. Right. Agent staff. What does that even mean? Oh, agency staff, like you work for an agency type thing. How does that work though with school? Because I thought you were still at school. Your whole story is very confusing to me. I can tell you that much. I always look weird when I've got the low light like this. I was tempted to get my other light out, but then I can have that up higher. But it's so annoying. So I just put up with the weird shadow of my glasses, making my eyebrows look like I'm an evil person. Ooh, la, la, la. Yeah, I get that you're saying it's part-time, but I would have thought, like, you know, like I get like if it's an evening job or a weekend job, but sure, and if you're telling me because it's like you're trying to say that you're trying to say you're driving trucks, but you can't be watching my stream, doing this and driving trucks, and you're on far too long for a dinner break. And if you've only just started, you wouldn't have dinner break. So none of this is making any sense to me, Gracie. I don't know how much of this I believe. There's a rage bar, I'm going to press it. So don't believe you, don't believe you. I think you're telling me porkies. I mean, I get that you want to be a trucker. And you keep calling it trucker like you're an American as well. Like I've never known anyone else to call it trucking. And I worked in the delivery industry for quite a long time, and none of the guys driving the lorries, they all call themselves lorry drivers. None of them call themselves truckers. So I don't know, I don't know what's going on with all that. Oh dear. I have to do 45 minutes at a time, and then I carry on. 45 minutes at a time? Oh dear. I don't mean to call you out, Gracie, I'm sorry. I think it's mostly just you and me. There are people definitely popping in and out, but the numbers aren't really going up, to be fair. They just kind of pop in, see some random stuff going on and me chatting to you, and then they just keep going. If the numbers at the top of the screen are even to be believed anyway. If you know, you say hi. If you're in at the moment, I can't tell always how many people in. Oh, we've got someone in. What have we got? We've got Graham Goodside in saying, "Are you the night stalker?" The only thing I'm stalking is some wood. In fact, I'm going to turn the light around now because I can't have the light in my face while I try to walk through here. And that light is not enough, so we'll get another light on the situation. Hold on. There we go. Through we go. And that's what we're after straight away. This downed tree, and then all these bits around it here. Look, some kids have been making a den out of some of it here. Well, I could say a den, that's like a minimal thing. I think it's like a little kiddie thing. But you've got, quite a bit of potential standing kind of wood around. But this is the one that I'm thinking of having. So this one that I'm lighting up here. Yeah. because yeah, that's quite dry. It's quite light wood. So that's the plan. We're going to just change the lighting. Hang that up in the tree, as you do. Have that one down low. Oh look, you can see a bit of if I can. Oh, I've got the. Yeah, look, you can see this bit. I've cut this before. I might take the rest of this one actually. This is pretty dry. Yeah, just take the bark off. And this is actually, yeah, I'm going to have some of this too. It's not exactly kindling size, but it's the size which will get some of the big wood going. And I wouldn't mind a few chunky bits anyway. Yeah, so we'll have some of that. Best place to set you up, let's have a little look. I think like that. I'll just curl the legs of this around and then, yeah. Oh, we're getting a little bit of, let me try and clean that screen a little bit. That's a bit better. I was going to say, I did stuck at Switch Island. I did get stuck at Switch Island. Who's calling me Alan in the chat? I'm Molly. We've got Michael in saying hello. Hi, Michael. What are you doing, bro? I'm collecting some firewood. I'm a van lifer and I've got my stove inside the van. And while I do sometimes buy kindling and firewood and stuff, I try to get away with buying as little as possible. So today I'm out just getting a bit of kindling and I'm going to try to like fill up my so you can sort of see a good, just little, this is a bit I started on like, I don't know, weeks ago. Just bringing out a saw. Give you guys a little bit of ASMR while I'm at it, eh? So, yeah, pretty decent, like sort of dried wood. We'll put that on the stove to dry it out even more, and then it'll be the kind of wood that's quite nice just to get things going. Right, I'm gonna hang this up in the tree, I think. Yeah, that's good. And then spin you guys around. Oh. That was weird. It's gone funky. There you go. So Indonesia. Wow, cool, Michael. And what's that? Come up to Switch Island now. Always fun, this place. If you know, you know. Traffic lights everywhere. Everyone cutting across lanes. You've got to. I don't know what that was, but something just flew off. Oh dear. Oh, I don't know what that animal is either. Was that an owl? Or was that a kid? That's a kid. I wonder what that noise was. Some young kid over there is making some random animal noises. At some point, somebody's got to come through here. When we're not through, so there's no free part. So it's usually just kids playing and stuff. But somebody at some point's got to come in here while I'm working on this sort of stuff and be wondering what's going on. And get curious. Shouldn't have done that. Check the chat. Oh. Oh, we've got someone back in. I don't remember your name, but 2:12 p.m. New York. Okay. Oh, wow. You guys are like literally 12 hours apart. That's cool. Hey, human. Good to see you. How you doing? To be fair, it's, there's not many of us in at the moment. So when you say everybody, there's not a huge everybody today. It's quite early on. I've done an early stream because Gracie was wanting an early stream. Just use the back of the blades just to get rid of some more of the bark. Hard to dry it out if it's got loads of bark on it. I give tips as if you guys are going to go off and do this sort of thing. Although you never know, there might be somebody else with a wood stove or a fireplace who comes in watching and thinks, oh, I'd never thought of doing that. I've been paying out hundreds a year on firewood. I could be saving myself some dough. Every little piece helps. How's your day been, human? Hope you're well. I'm probably slightly off screen now, but I'm too lazy to move angles right now. They're nice sized bits, really. Oh, that bit still's got some. No, that stuff's not coming off. Some of it just peels off quite easy, but yeah, see. But some of it doesn't want to peel. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Not all of it though. No, that's it. That's all she wrote for the bark on that. But it's still a lovely piece of wood, that though. Really, really nice for what I need. I can get another piece out of that. Nice. I mean, this other bit looks okay. I think we'll have that. I'll twist you guys around. Hey, we've got Chloe in. Hi, Chloe. Let me just change where I've got this light so it's not in the field of vision. We'll put it here, I think. Oh, that did not work. Oh. What's going on? Oh, stupid things and messed itself up. There we go. And if I do that, we should have lots of light. There we go. Wood for the fire. Yeah, that's right. Not many days off. I'm mostly going for kindling, Chloe. But I will get a little bit. My friend Lucas is going to actually be dropping in another. Oh yeah, this bit up here. I don't know if you can see where I am. I'm going to cut this up here. This is a really nice size for kindling, actually. He says, and then oi, the saw is caught. Oi, it's trying to go the. Whoa, oi. Oh, that's holding a lot of the weight up of this branch, actually. What's going on? There we go. So, big piece. Yeah, that'll be excellent for this. So that's almost exactly the same size as the kindling that I've been using. Just obviously, this is a cylinder piece where they're all like chopped up bits, but that'll work really beautifully as a bit of kindling, and I've got quite a lot of it here. That's enough for almost like a pack's worth. It's about, I don't know, I think a pack's like £2.50 or something. I'm going to put this somewhere else. I'm going to put this bag somewhere where I can actually utilise it. Put that there. Can we just... That might work. Hoo-yah. There we go. Excellent. Yeah, just get rid of all the bark. And this has been off the ground for so long, and sort of in that sort of orientation rather than flatting, it's almost bone dry, this stuff. It's another reason why I'm out today doing it. I don't like to collect this kind of wood on a day where it's been wet. You've got to be a bit clever about it. And I'd rather be out here just doing a little bit of nonsense like this evening, staying a bit active after dinner, than just paying up for it. Oh, hi Mr. Cat. The boys are back on Sunday. They'll be back then. Oh, hi James. Yeah, I'm feeling better. Hope you're doing all right, mate. Good to hear you're good human. Hey, how have you been, Chloe? What have you been up to? Now, did you, the other day you were talking about this Temu challenge thing that you're doing. Is that something you were doing that night, or just something you were planning to do? I'm afraid I wasn't paying a huge amount of attention. There was a lot of stuff going on that day, I think, so I do apologise. But I am curious. I was thinking about it, how that's a cool idea. So I was just wondering, is it something you're prepping for, or something you've actually done now? And if you have done it, will you give us spoilers and tell us how it went? I'm sure at the time I was aware of what's going on. I had this thing, my short-term memory's fine, but long-term memory is a bit nuts. So I like lose the memory of what people have told me, which is why I struggle to remember where everyone is. Like Beth, or Cheeky as you might know her in the chat. For some reason I thought that she was one of the ones from, because we've got quite a few people who come from that sort of the south region, sort of around Salisbury Way, that sort of area, which I think is true of you as well, Chloe. Or at least that's where you've been camping, so I guess you're from that sort of, I don't imagine for any reason you're travelling all the way from, say, Manchester down there for a bit of camping, but on the ad hoc like that, that's more of like a full trip kind of thing. But yeah, I thought she was from up there, but it turns out she's your way as well, actually. So. But it's one of those things at the time when people tell me, I'm aware, but then give me a short time for it, and rather than it going into long-term memory, it just disappears and vaporises on me. I'm terrible, I really am. Good to hear you okay. You were out that night. Cool. Nice, good to hear it all went well then. Hi Sparker, how you doing? Did what end, Gracie? Oh, it's being annoying. Let's turn that around so I've got the proper... There we go. Yeah, if I'm using it for kindling, I want it to be as bark free as possible, which is one of the reasons why I picked a piece like this. See, that knotty bit is not going to be any useful bit for kindling, so we'll just cut that off. It's got too much nonsense on it. Right, we're getting to the point now where I'm going to cut it most of the way through, but aim for not all the way. Yeah, that's all right, that's lost its bark, so that knot is okay. That knot is not a problem. Put that in. Put that in. So, as I'm doing this, using my time and saving my money, which is a thing that I've liked to do. I'm curious, do any of you guys have ways that you save money that are a bit sort of unorthodox like this? Like, I mean, you know, everyone likes a bargain. You go to the shop, you're going to look for like the cheapest price. You know, some of us aren't that savvy and just buy whatever we see. Others of us are like, well, we like that, but can we go to check it in another shop and see if it's cheaper? And so everyone's got their own different take on like how far to go with trying to save money. So with that granted as a given, I am curious, beyond sort of just trying to find it in a cheaper place, how do you guys save your money? Or do you even bother? Do you like just like, it doesn't matter, we'll spend it? Which is also a valid way to be. I don't judge. You know? I mean, one of the ways to look at it sometimes is, it's a bit like the way I see it with the window cleaner when I do that. I like, for the time it takes me, I get paid quite well, but compared to how long it would take a household, like a normal person, just to clean their house windows, like I'm a lot quicker than they would be. So while it's quite a high rate of value for me, for my time, for them, the amount of time saved is astronomical compared to what they could earn at work. So they could probably earn enough to pay me to clean their windows in less than half the time, or even a quarter of the time it would actually take them to do the windows themselves. So that's in my mind, if that's a thing that you need or you want, you're saving money by getting somebody else to do it. If they can do it, if what it's costing you is saving you, it is less in term than what you would earn for the same sort of time. So, like, you know, it might take you 2 hours to clean your windows in your house. I don't think it's going to take many people that long, but some people, the big jobs would. But yet that person with a house that's going to take them 2 hours to clean, then they'll pay me X amount of money, I don't know, let's say they'll pay me 20 quid, right? But they're probably getting paid like upwards of like 50, maybe 100 quid an hour or something like that on their big salary of whatever they've got. And yeah, you have to go, okay, that's value for money, because if it's a job that needs doing, but you can pay someone less money than you can earn for the same, that's basically money saving in a way. That's still money efficient. It's also time efficient, whichever way you look at it. So yeah, but I am curious, any other unorthodox ways? Let me have a little look at the chat. Hi Stephanie, good to see you in. Let me see, I've just got to go back in the chat a little bit. Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, I feel a lot better. I hope you're well as well. I'm thinking of digging a bunker in my local woods for a video, covered in tarp, cozy. That's a nice idea. I tell you, Chloe, you're full of great ideas. But don't be giving them all away, especially if you're not airing them until a long time away. Somebody might steal one of your ideas. Wait, Molly, did you just saw your thumb off? I think we'll have to check. Does it look like I've sawn it off? I don't know. Does it look like it's no, it's in one piece, isn't it still? I'm going to call you Chuck Sparker. You got me to do it, there you go. All right, these days you need to be careful what you do. I think you should be careful running all days, even if you've got a lot of it. You've got to still be careful. It's easy to lose it all. Hey, YTP is in. Long time no see. Good to have you back. How are you doing? I did the thumb trick. Yes. Yeah, I was cutting with the saw, and it went a little bit wrong. And thankfully, there's no blood or anything. But yeah, the thumb is now not attached anymore. I mean, that's wicked, is it not? Come on. I could really start messing with the new people in the chat now. I could go, oh, this is an injury I got in the war of 2032. Oh wait, hold on, you guys don't know about that one yet, and start getting all of the tinfoil people in, like what Tim gets, the old tinfoil hat people, the conspiracy theorists and all that. That's why I'm harvesting your natural resources, because we lost them all in the war of 2032. And you'll all be like, how did that happen? And I'll be like, well, it was a galactic war, you see, this is the trouble. And all these guys from such and such a planet came down and nicked them all, like in Oblivion. Yet they succeeded, because we didn't have Tom Cruise to save us. Right. No, it's not a fake thumb. No, it's not a chainsaw. It's just a handsaw. That's all you need. You don't need mechanisation to do your thumb. No. You guys do love that thumb trick. I've got to admit, it looks good in the low light. It really does. Woo-hoo. 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 But you've got to ask yourself, if the thumb isn't there, how am I holding this up? How am I holding this up without my thumb? Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm loving that. I could just spend the whole night doing that and see if anyone can work out what is going on. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. Man goes out in woods to cut wood. Man cuts thumb. As long as you've got a fire with you so you can cauterise and stop the bleeding, you're fine. The only trouble is it's in two parts then. And if you've got Pritt stick, you're all right, you can stick it together, but it just, it'll just pop off so easy. That's the trouble. I need some proper glue, don't I? I'll get some Gorilla Glue on it. That'll do the job. Right. I'm wondering if there's any other wood that I can take. I've got quite a sack full, but a lot of this stuff is a bit bigger than I want for the kindling style stuff. There's some of this one still. We left this from the other day. I don't know. No, I don't want to use that one, actually. What's that one like? Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice bit of quality. And that's smaller, which is particularly good for the kindling stage of things. Ooh, lost that bit. I've cut too far through. Oh, there goes the thumb. It's literally gone off. Whoops. Don't mess with saws, kids. This will happen. Oh, it just snapped off. I think that end of the wood's no good. Yeah, that'll do. Right, let's check some chat here. Yeah, I just love the reaction. There's the guy there going, WTF, like. Yeah, I'm absolutely sloshed, because that's what you do. You go out in the woods, absolutely blottoed, and have a saw. That's what you do. I tell you, it's okay if we take a finger off. It's if something else goes. You know, you got to be careful where you're aiming. You don't want to take something else off, which is more important than a finger. I think this looks good. Let's see. Let's check this one out. Yeah, I like that bit. It's not too fat wood. Let's do it the other way around. There we go. I don't know if that's seasoned enough. I don't know about this one. That's all right for like firewood wood, but it's not going to be particularly good for kindling. And it's quite dense. This is more like if you're going to like burn for a long time. So I'm going to put that back in somewhere where it can keep drying. Try to find something a bit better for what I'm looking for. This might be, or this one. This one looks fairly dead. Yeah, that's got way more satisfying snap to it. Ooh, yeah, that's a long one. Woohoo! We like a bit of that. Okay. Oh yeah, that cut really satisfyingly. I don't know if you saw any of that because I'm probably out of sight. Sorry. Yeah, that was satisfying. This would be perfect. There we go. Let me check some chat before I cut. Well, yeah, take care, have some food, and we'll see you later. Hey, Michael's in. Hi, Michael. How you doing? How's your day been? You been out there working, my man? Yeah, just collecting up some kindling size stuff. My bag of kindling is all but finished. I've got like one piece left. So I want to get some fresh small pieces for that. I don't really need any big stuff because Lucas is going to be bringing me a fresh load of logs tomorrow. I'm going to be meeting him at Biggleswades, and we'll have lots of firewood again. It's lasted me pretty much the whole week, to be honest, what he gave me. I think I've used 2 of the actual heat logs that I buy. Maybe two or 3, I'm not sure. And that was just mostly because it was like a couple of nights where I wanted it to be a bit easier. I didn't want to manage to fire too much, but I wanted to keep going for a little while. And I wanted it to be quite nice and warm because I've had the cold. If I didn't have the cold, I probably wouldn't have needed the fire on quite as much. But I was trying to make it nice and pleasant for myself. I think I literally reused the bag that the kindling came in for this kindling because I'm getting quite a lot. Enough to hopefully to fill the bag. If I've got too much, I'll just maybe burn some of the spare. If there's a lot of it. There's a little, I'll just probably keep it to the side, it'll be fine. Yeah, that's beautiful. So it's quite a dense wood still, quite dark, but because it's so old and like seasoned, it's very light and it's lost some of its structure. It's not rotten or anything, but it does mean it's going to start very nicely and probably produce quite a lot of heat for what it is. So I'm really happy with that stuff. That's got to be enough. I mean, that's a big old bag full. I might just take some fat stuff to burn now, just make things warm in there. Yeah, it's pretty soft stuff, but But yeah, not bad. We'll just throw a few of these in. It really doesn't take long to cut through when it's that soft. But put a few chunks like this in the bag, and I'll be able to just continue to burn a little bit tonight, which would be quite nice. Wouldn't mind having it nice and toasty. I think it's this thing as well, is like when I'm paying for the fuel, I'm a little bit frugal about having the van too warm. Whoa. But oh, that's a mangly looking one, but it's still good. But when I'm not paying for the wood and it's free, like, I get much less frugal about it. I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I might take a little bit more of this one just for tonight. It's too big to act as the kindling stuff, but yeah, it's but it'd be quite nice just to add to that big stuff to make sure it's all burning through nice and easy, because I won't have a chance to really season it if I'm cooking it tonight. Like, well, burning it tonight, I mean, cooking it. I don't know what I'm talking about, do I? But it shouldn't be any troubles with it, because the stove is up to temperature. It's not like I'm trying to fire it up with this stuff. But yeah, because I want to try and dry out some of the other stuff a bit, so I do want to keep the stove going a little bit longer. That'll do it, I think. That's got us done. Let's head back to the van. I'll just check out the chat before we do. Right. Oi. Oh, that's bright still. Let's turn that down. There we go. Right. Let's see what we've got going on. I know of Epic Games. I think I used to play some of theirs, Sparker, but I'm not really familiar anymore. Michael's saying yes, easy day of. What's that? Yes, work. Yes, easy day. Off tomorrow. Zoned out watching you cut. Wow, you've gone like properly like zoned out because you're not even writing properly, which is fair. I respect it. Chilling out with it. Yeah, we're good to go. We're all clear. I didn't bring out too much though. Yeah, it's all sorted. I just got to find my way out of here. I always get a bit lost on the way out. Doesn't help I've got lights in my face. There we go. This is the way. Right, let me show you where I'm walking rather than my ugly mug. There we go. Yeah, that'll do it, I'd say. That's my big bag of stuff. My earned supplies. Excellente. Right. I love that there's the Christmas lights all out now. When the boys are back, I'm going to give you guys a tour of the lights over here at Stockfold. They put a lot of effort in over here. It's incredibly good. It's like a recent thing. I don't know if it's last year or the year before, but they just started putting a lot of effort in, and they've got all these new decorations, proper like modern ones. Really nice. I think you can see the cars going through behind there. So that's where I just was in there. Literally, so you've got the pathway over that little bridge, and then I go left into the trees here. You can see how there's the houses right there even. Yeah, and that's the bypass, the Henlow, the Olsey Stopfold bypass, and then yeah, just about right there. So you got, that's the edge. The tree I was pulling stuff from is about there, and then sometimes I'm up the other end, to the right of that light there. So there's a ditch all the way along here, a little bit of like it's got a bit of water in it. Look, it's part of a brook, I think. So you can't just walk in from this side. That place I went in from is about the only spot you can get into. But yeah, so somewhere in there at the far end is where I sometimes do a bit of a fire, and I've done a little bit of firewood collection down that end. But there's just that big tree at the moment down this end, which makes it so much easier. Hi Wendy, good to see you in. How are you doing? Yeah, it's definitely a peaceful one this evening. Just out collecting my firewood and enjoying a bit of the fresh air, because it's quite mild today. I think it's 10, feel like 7 according to the Met Office, which is quite a mild evening. But even on the mild ones, because I haven't had the stove on all day, when I finish work I like to put it on just to warm it up and make it comfortable. Otherwise the inside is too cold. And to be fair, today I actually aired the van out while I was working. I was on one of the roads here that have like one of these electric gates, so it's a closed off little gated bit, and I do all of the houses in there. There's like 5 of them. And so I was parked there quite a long time. The sun was nicely out, and I was able to park in a spot where my solar panel and the back of the van were pointing directly towards the sun for a lot of it. So I left the door wide open and let it all air out nicely with the fresh air that was quite warm and mild, and let the sun kind of beam straight down into the van and just, yeah, air things out quite nice. I'm good, thanks Wendy. Feeling a lot better today. You can probably tell my throat's feeling a lot better. I'm less croaky. Glad you're doing good. How about you, Mr. Cat? How you been? You looking after yourself? Probably got some looks when there's a couple of girls over there. I don't know if you see them to the right. I'll spin around now so you can see me. Yeah, there are some teenagers around quite often around here. Just behind me over my shoulder there's like the blocks that people sit on, and yeah, you get some looks when you're filming yourself. That's for sure. It stopped bothering me a long time ago. I remember when I first started filming, I remember the first trip over there, I was alright when I was filming on my own in the middle of nowhere, whatever, but trying to film down like a road and people walking by, I'd get really kind of shy about it and be like, oh my god. But now it's like I'll just walk past somebody and just almost not even notice they're there as I'm just talking to camera. Here we go. Let me give you a little look around so you can sort of see what it's like here. This is how brazen I am. So I'm parked right here. And then it's like a bit of a lay-by. So you can sort of see it kind of cuts in here. Although weird, look at this, look. They have a pathway here that just stops right in the corner, which is just the most weirdest thing. So it goes down the side of this building here, the pathway does, and all the way around. But yet here it just stops. I'm like, why didn't they continue it just along this bit here? And then like, there's no drop curb either. So it's the weirdest bit of just, why did they bother with that? But yeah, so this is actually the council building, and all the council people work in these offices right here. So for anyone going, oh, how do you get away with parking wherever you want to park in the van? Because they really don't care if I'm looking after the place and I'm like being respectful. Yeah, it's really not a thing at all. Let's just check. Yeah, yeah. So this is like the usual spot really in Stopfold. And then yeah, you can't. Weird. The one thing they have done is they have this extra Christmas tree here, and for some reason the lights aren't on that at the moment. But they do have these nice ones here. But this isn't the high street. You have to go down the road down there to get to the high street, and then down there there's just loads and loads of Christmas lights. But even the houses here are really quite nice. It's a lot of new build here. You've got some flats here. This is where Nicola used to live before she passed away. And Henry used to walk her dog for her. She's a lovely lady. But yeah, can you see those ones there? Look at that for a set of Christmas lights. The full garden is done, and then you've got some more down that way. And then you can't really see them from down here, but lots of houses have them. It's a good area for it. It is. Yeah, they put a bit of effort in. So that's where I'm parked at the moment anyway. And working too. I've been working for the last few days here as well, which is quite nice. The commute has been tiny. Literally one of the houses that I clean is around the corner, and I don't even drive to get to it. I just walk around with the ladders. It's that close. That's what you want. You want the short commute. Always good. Right. Let's get in. Whee. There we go. Home sweet home. Right, have I got an issue with the chat, or we've just all gone silent? Because I noticed that we haven't had any chat for a little while. Right, I'm going to put you there. Turn that off. There we go. No, that's no good like that. Well, first, let's just turn that on. There we go. Yeah, that's not too shabby. Oh, you're wrapping some presents. You just listened. Fair enough. If you're all just listening, that's all right. I shall start cracking out some props and do you some ASMR. Don't look now. My big sack's in the frame. Oh dear. What are you up to, Spark? Are you killing zombies today, or are you playing golf? Or something else? Was it you talking about Epic Games? Oi, let's get my slippers on. I'm done with being outside today. I'm a bit covered with wood dust actually. Might get some of that off this top eventually. Oi. No, I've been off the games for a week or two. Oh, you're going to get withdrawal symptoms. Do be careful. Right. Quick blow in the nose, because I'm still getting some of the gunk out. So excuse me. Fair warning to anyone wearing headphones. Although I'm fully aware a lot of you watch this on your TVs and stuff, because the stats will come up and they tell me about how many people watch on TVs, and I'm always impressed how many people are actually watching on a big screen. Although, admittedly, with the streams like this, a lot of it is on the phones, though. I think like a lot of newbies are, anyway. Right, let's see how the fire's doing. There's still a little bit of embers in there. Let's give you a little look, so you can see. That's lasted all right. We'll have a little look to see how much that actually stays up when I give it a little move and clear some of the ash out, so that, yeah, so that the embers are pretty good though actually. That's pretty solid. We'll get them organised a bit so they're all in the middle. Probably want to do that. That'll get things going quite nicely. Yeah, that's a nice bed. Good bit of heat. So what we'll do is we'll spin this around. Get rid of the cushions so I can put you guys right here. Okay. How's that? There you go. You can see what we're up to. So I cut some stuff that was going to be for just this evening. It's essentially these four here. Just get them straight in. We do have some flame. You can see that. Nice. That's what we're after. Like that. And put that one in. It'll take a little while, but I reckon that should go. There's enough heat mass in there to get them to go, I think. Just needs to warm them up first. Oh yeah, that's already flaming. Already got a little bit of flame going on in there. So that's good to see. You can see how my glass is all a bit crazed in this corner. It's no good. Need to get a new piece of glass. Although I'm only going to do that if I don't bother building a new stove. I really like the idea of building a new stove. It'd be quite cool. Let me turn that off. Oh, that's better. Without that light going, you can see a bit more. I reckon as well, if I turn the big lights off, put that there. Yeah. The last one to do is if I turn this one off, I wonder, could you see quite well now? Yeah, you can. I've got another light on. If I turn all the lights off, I think you could. There we go. So when did you start working in the trucks then, Gracie? If assuming I believe you that you're driving the truck today. Yeah, look, that's going real nice now. You can see I've made sure I've got airflow around all the logs, but got them close enough that they've got facing surfaces. Oh, it's starting to really cook. I do love watching the fire. Smash the hearts if you like watching a fire too. Can you hear that roaring? I don't know if it's coming across the mic at all. Yeah, that's a beauty. I will say, as much as I love getting the wood from Lucas, and it's highly useful, the natural logs just have a way of burning that I really love. I can't explain it why they're different and how exactly it's different, but it just is. They tend to burn in a very different way. Yeah, but that is, yeah, it's absolutely going for it. I might actually have to slow that down. That will get crazy. I have added a lot of firewood in there. I'm used to using Lucas's wood there. I have to put a lot in because it burns. Like it has to kind of like it burns a lot slower essentially, in terms of like I think it has to heat up so much of it. Some of the energy is lost. Once it's all sort of really going, it's a different case. But then by that point, it shrinks down quite a lot. It's not a very dense wood, but this stuff is a different ball game entirely. Oh, that's lovely now. I think that'll work. I think we're going to leave it just like that. Yeah. So you can see it's more burning on one side than it is on the other. But the other side has got a little bit of flame. I don't think it's coming across on here, but there is a little bit of flame over there. And I think it's just because I've got this big one as it is like that. It's the way it's working out. But I don't mind that. It's good enough bit of heat. I think it's working out beautifully. Yeah, it's pretty good and dry, Dwayne. Nice to have you in, Dwayne. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I kind of went twice there. Whoa. Oh, slightly light-headed. Let's get some lights back on. The only annoying thing is I'd like to have the flame the other side, so what I might do is see if I can't adjust this slightly. Yeah, that'll sort of work if I fiddle around with that a little bit. The wood in the fire, I mean, the wood in the fire. Yeah, I think that'll get going. I've messed with it a little bit. The objective here is to get this side to go, and then when I'm sat over on the sofa you guys can see it. Oh, there we go. See, that one's just lit. This one's now got nice. Oh, that's it. That's what we wanted. And now if we close it up to the right level, that will stay burning for a while. Beautiful. That is what we are looking for. Oh, I'm just going to load some of this up onto the stove. Yeah, I'm good, Dwayne. Glad to have you back in. So there's definitely a few different sizes here. We'll get the thicker stuff down at the bottom. So that's like a more transitional kind of bit of wood, but also I could stick like 4 of those in and get a decent length burn with a decent level of like heat out as well. Oh, I forgot, there's another big one. That'll go in this evening. We've got another big one. Another big boy. We'll put that at the back. Well, that's a lot more wood than I thought I'd collected. Blimey. Okay. Yeah, it's all pretty dry, I'm going to say. There's not too much wrong with this. I don't know how much drying out it's going to really need. Woohoo. But we'll stack it up and we'll get it heated up through the stove a little bit. Yeah, I mean, these ones here, just some of the first ones I was taking, these might as well be bone dry. And it's hard to tell because some of it's obviously cold. And weird fact for you all, you don't actually have moisture sensors in your skin. So you can't tell when something is wet or not. What your brain does is it decides whether it's colder and whether it's absorbing much heat from you. And so something that's cold can feel wet or damp. So that's why if you have like washing out in the cold and you go to touch it and you think it might be damp, and you bring it inside and it almost feels like it dries like really rapidly, but actually it was probably already dry. It just felt damp because it was cold. And then once you warmed it up, it doesn't feel cold anymore. We've got a weird bit there. I'm just going to throw that in, I think. Yeah, that's loads of kindling. That's going to last for ages, that is. Went all out a bit there. I'm just going to empty out all the fluff. I'll be back in a second. Nice. Right. Just hang that there. So, yes, drying the wood in the van is not ideal, but it's the best we have realistically. Got to put it on the stove. I have considered building like a little kind of heated unit inside of the cabinet where I store the wood. That like basically have ventilation to go outside and like a heating element going through, or several heating elements even. So like if you imagine like a heated rack essentially to put the wood on to kind of dry it out. But in all fairness, I just don't know that it's losing its moisture that rapidly, and I think my sort of system of actively getting the moisture out of the van with all the vents and everything is probably doing enough of a job, to be fair. Right, let's try and get things set up a bit. There we go. There you can see me and the stove. Lovely, lovely jobs. Right. Beautify myself a little bit. Right. Oh, Beth's in. Hi, Beth. Yet another new profile picture I see. You like to change your picture. I think if Gracie's telling the truth, then I think we can guess what you were doing outside, Gracie. Oh dear. You started a year ago today. See this. See your story gets a little bit more and more far fetched. Because how are you driving truck? You keep calling them trucks. How are you driving like lorries or anything at 16? Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. So what have I missed? Oh, I'm going to give the like a bit of a blow. So yeah, Epic have been giving games away every week for a year or two, Thursday 4 p.m. But this week it's saying it will be about 2 a.m. tonight, which is weird. What's this? You got a game? Oh, everyone's like got the headphones out. I just saw that. Yeah. Well, it's not a very crackly fire. I will say that is the one thing about the wood that Lucas gives me, is he gives me wood that does like to crackle while I'm burning it. So that's kind of like a bit of a bonus with his wood. You get this really crackly fire, which is quite nice. Oh, sorry to hear that, Beth. It's should I talk slower? Will that help? Oh dear, that's a pretty good haul. Look at that. That's really nice. I'm impressed with that. I thought it was going to be a lot more hard work trying to sort out a load of kindling, because the reason I don't always get that much is because it's like a lot of hassle getting all the little pieces collected up. I think it helps that some of them are a bit bigger than some other times. Do you have a TV? Yeah, I do. Let me show you. Oh, that's a bit. There you go. Right there. The speaker isn't under it right now. I'll sort that actually. Oh, there was some like wood grit type stuff in the joint now of that thing. There you go. It's my little sound bar. Does a good job, that thing. There we go. knock that back up. It is indeed, J-Mads. It's a really cosy spot. I like this. It's a really nice way to stream, actually. But I do want to. This is something I've been really wanting to do, is change the stove for something where you can see more of the fire and really get the feel for it. It'd be really nice. Dr. Boo says, hi, do you drink alcohol? I do not, which is very unusual these days, I admit, but yeah, I don't. What's that, Beth? Finally Friday? No, it's Thursday, Beth. Friday's tomorrow. I've got one more day of work and then it'll be Friday. I'm sorry for the bad news, Beth, if that means you're back to work tomorrow and you didn't realise. Dear me. Yeah, Gracie jumped to that as well. Tomorrow is Friday, yeah. Am I a carpenter? No, not by trade, but my dad was for many years. He was a carpenter, and I've learnt a few bits off him and just a few bits myself. Yeah, I'm pretty handy with a bit of wood, which is why I was able to build out the van all myself. And touch wood, Ethan's bed above me has not fallen down yet, even with adults in it. Sorry, Beth, that was some really bad news for you. I can imagine you're right now. You're absolutely disgusted with the fact that it's not Friday. That's it's one of those things. It's like finding money in your pocket that you didn't think was there. Is always a bit. It's like you've just found free money. Losing like cash, like when you go in your pockets for something, you don't realise it's come out, and you realise later. That's devastation. But that has nothing on thinking it's Friday and it turns out it's not. Oh, that's like you've had like basically. I don't know what the equivalent of that is, but it's like that. It's like losing cash from your pocket, but like 100 times worse, I'd say. Dr. Boo saying, did you ever drink or quit at some point in life? No, I didn't ever really drink. So, fair question. I've told this story to many people. I'll tell you as well. When I was little, like really little, like single digits, I was allowed a little sip of my dad's beer, maybe. Like not super young, but like, you know, I might have been, I don't know, like what age I would have been, 7, 8, 9, I don't know. Like just every now and then, like if dad was in a good mood and I was like, oh, well, can I try a bit? And he'd let you have a tiny little sip out of a can or something. And then like on New Year's like Eve, like when we were doing the New Year's celebrations, it was like a thing for quite a few years where they would let like my brother and sister have a little bit of wine in the bottom of a glass, and they'd let me have like a sip's worth in the bottom, just to make me feel like I was being part of it. To be honest, I don't even know if it was wine. I think it was, but they might well have just slipped some grape juice in there for all I knew. But I'm pretty sure it was something like that. But anyway, so I never really did, like I've never been drunk in my life. And at some point in there, and I couldn't tell you what age it was because it was so long ago, definitely before I was a teenager, but I don't know if it was in single digits or doubles. Somewhere, you know, I don't know, somewhere between, I would say, 9 and 12, somewhere in there, I just decided one day I don't want to drink alcohol, and yeah, never have. So I've never drunk anything since then. Not even like a little sip or anything. Yeah, and it just, I think it's one of these things. I'm definitely neurodivergent, and one of my things is I can be, well, I used to be very stubborn with things. I'm not as bad now, but I can still be stubborn. I mean, you know, if I know I'm right about something, I'm not just gonna roll over and let somebody do some nonsense. But yeah, when I was back then, God, like if I got something in my head, that was that. And yeah, I decided didn't want to do alcohol, and that was that. And yeah, never started, so it's never been something for me. What about yourself? I'm guessing as you're called Dr. Booze, you might well take to the booze yourself a little bit, which I don't judge, to be fair. My best friend in the whole world, more brother than a friend really. No, he drinks and he'll come out on a camp night or over here for games night. He'll have a few bits of booze. So will Tim. They'll come. They have to bring their own when they come here. So we had like the barbecue in the van the other month, last month for my birthday stuff, and yeah, all three lads had to turn up with their own booze, but it all went in the fridge, and they had them every time, and so did I. I didn't need to drink to enjoy it all as well. Same. Gemma saying I quit drinking; it's destructive. And Frank saying alcohol is not good. Stay away; it's poison. Yeah, I mean, it's a drug, isn't it? So, and anything like that, in moderation, if you can balance yourself, it's not the end of the world. But yeah, it can definitely be very destructive. And yeah, Emmy's in. Hi, Emmy. Good to see you. How you doing? You put up your Christmas tree today. Lovely. Is it a big one? Is it natural or is it a fake one? I have to go natural. I just have to do it. Even in the van this year, I've got plans to put one up, but trim it in such a way where we make it a bit more manageable. But I want to have it so it looks nice. I'm still not sure where to put it. In the past, I've put it down here. Let me spin around a little bit like this. God, I've got some grit in there. I need to clean it out. So in the past, I've put it here. Like basically on the, so you can see how I've got 3 chairs and then this one here, which is like a little table. And what I've done in the past is had a little tree, put it on the table, put it there. But what I'm thinking about doing is maybe getting a slightly big, normal sized tree, or one that's about this sort of height. Because if it's higher than that, the problem is it'll get cooked by the stove, just the general heat coming over. So my thoughts are, if I have one here, but I don't want it to be so big that it gets in the way. So I'm going to trim it up to make it a bit fit, like not too, like little bit narrow, but also going to trim off the back so it can go right up against the corner. And what I'm thinking of doing is like I've got a little thing down there that I can cable tie it to, so it doesn't move around. We'll put the lights and everything in that, and I think as long as it's sort of somewhere between here and maybe as high as the speaker, but no higher than the speaker, I think we'll get away with a little tree just there. And I think if I can get it in situ where it's not taking up, if it just takes up the space that chair would do, and then we can put that chair somewhere else out of the way, probably put the chair where the little table is, and put the little table just over by the by this zone here, where next to the ladders, and we'll probably be all right. And then yeah, just deck out the rest of the van as well. I think we're going to go with like quite a few decks this year. Well, that is needing a little bit of TLC. Then I'll check on the chat. Here we go. Lovely jobs. Some nice fire again. In fact, we can bring you guys over like that. You get me in the fire. Lovely. Right, where were we? Beth saying I started sneaking the occasional beer when I was 12. Oh, that sounds just like you. And I can imagine you had good reason about that age as well. Spark saying, yeah, our mini plastic one went up a day or two ago. Ooh, mini plastic. Boo. What's that, Beth? My grandfather worked in a brewery, and it was hard not to pinch a little taste. Well, yeah, fair play. Dr. Boo saying, LOL, yes I do, but I admire your take on it. Yeah, I mean, well, it's not a take as such, it's a personal preference. I will say my take on it is just like anyone else's, where it's, if you're doing it in moderation, you're looking after yourself, it's not a big deal. Like, you've got to have some treats in life. You've got to have a little bit of naughtiness. Nobody's super good. Do you know, the most annoying thing, right, is people who, like, you're just trying to enjoy your meal, and you know it's not the healthiest meal in the world. Like today, I had spag bowl. Had some in the freezer, so I've warmed up the bolognese. I've done myself some pasta. I've got some grated cheese on that thing. It's not a super healthy meal. It's not basically a salad and a bit of, like, lean meat like chicken or something. It's a meal. It's just a hearty meal. It's going to give me energy, some protein, a few minerals and vitamins, but it's going to fill my belly up and make me feel good. And yeah, one of my favourite meals. And I'm not eating it because like these people are just, every meal's got to be healthy. I'm like, no. Most meals, if they're healthy, you then have the other stuff you find. And it's like that with booze. If you're having like, half a glass of something with dinner every day, probably not a problem. You know, I think like the Europeans do it like that, don't they? The French, they'll have like drink with meals and stuff, and it kind of has like a balancing effect. Or if you're having a little, you know, you're having a get together and the lads come around and you have a few beers, you know, if they were doing it every night, then you're building some problems. But yeah, you can't be all good. Um, oh, well, Emmy retracted two of her statements. Am I guessing? Am I guessing that means your Christmas tree is not a real one? It's just a pretty big fake one. I hope not. I hope you've got a real one because you live in a place where there's a lot of Christmas trees around, and you should definitely be able to have a real one. Uh, yeah, Spugs, and that's how I drink until I can't balance myself. Well, that's fair play too. If you got your if you got if I mean, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. It's, no judgment on my part. I do many a bad thing what I shouldn't be doing and have very little self control on them. It just happens to not be alcohol. So yeah, we all have our things. Uh, um, and me saying, so one of the gifts that are up to me from my family is as big as me, and they used up all the Christmas wrapper just for my gift. So I'm super excited for the 24th. Oh, it's a big one. Whoa. Do you have any guesses what it might be, Emmy? Uh, yes, I remember you saying yours is on the 24th. I do remember you telling us about that. That's really cool. Um, I'm sure Emmy's going to have a lovely Christmas. And what's Gracie saying? Uh-huh. You know, Gracie, you've never been this complimentous in the chat ever. And by that I mean, like, I can understand everything you're saying in the chat today, which is very unusual. It's almost like we're talking to a different person, and it's just very suspicious. I'm going to call you sus because you're trying to convince me that somehow you've been driving your trucks for a year, and you haven't mentioned it until today, and now you're about apparently sleep. Like tomorrow's a school day. What are you doing tomorrow? Like that would be like that. I'm just not believing any of this. I tell you, Gracie, I'm just not believing any of it. Dear. That's a fair answer, Sparker. As long as it contains a good amount of alcohol, I don't mind. But you're not a fan of gin. Fair play. Uh, what are your naughty, guilty things you enjoy? Anything other than pasta? Says Dr. Weeds. I'm not quite sure how to explain some of the things I mean, there have been some stuff over the years that I've done, but it's not because I enjoy it. It's like bad acting out because of mental things that like basically emotional issues and working things through. So it's not stuff that I really want to talk about in here, but they're not the most pleasant things, to be fair. Oh, you've actually got a real one. Fair enough, Emmy. Spruce is good. I usually try to go for the ones with the flat leaves that like basically don't drop all the needles on the floor immediately, because those things are a nightmare. Big rigs, Molly. What on earth? Somebody's saying some nonsense in the chat. Leave that hidden. Hi Kit, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Yeah, I love the smell of a real tree. I tell you, one thing that you can do though to enhance it as well is you can get some pine, like air freshener, or just some pine oil, essential oil. But something I love as well is a bit of like an orange smell at Christmas. So I usually go with a little bit of like orange oil as well. And that's kind of like a very Christmassy smell as well. But if you don't want to go with the orange oil, just get yourself a chocolate orange. Pop that out, sorted. And then whenever you walk by, like, you know, just have it like in a jar or something. And whenever you walk by, lid off, chunk of Terry's chocolate orange, which is now my chocolate orange. And yeah, jobs are good. Just keep that near the tree, and every time you walk by, you got the pine and the orange smells. Beautiful. No, it's not drugs, Dr. Booth. Nothing like that. No, It's other things. There are so many things that you can be doing which are bad out there that would be classed as a habit. I can tell you one of the simpler ones that are easy. Sugar. I tell you, sugary foods, man. I mean that's a bad one. And I've got some big old belly on me thanks to that. But I've been much better with that one. And yeah, and I've sort of slowly but surely learnt the idea that you can't get rid of a habit. You can only swap it out for another one. And so I'm trying to replace it with good habits rather than bad ones, because they're definitely good habits. Like people who exercise because they just feel like exercising. That's a good habit. Um, One of my habits now is to get on stream and chat to you guys, which is a really positive habit. Yeah, so it's just like you just replace them, but I still have the odd bad one. Um, um, Wayne, you're talking nonsense, and you can let it go now, or I will basically give you a big old timeout because I don't want to have a conversation with you about that. That's absolutely bullshit. Um, let's have a little look. Oh, is Emmy going? Is she? Well, I've got to go, but I hope. See, Emmy. Thanks for popping in. Hope you have a nice time. I should have asked Emmy about what she got in her, because she's doing the Advent thing, if I remember rightly. She said something about like a present thing each day or something. GCat is in. Hi, GCat. How you doing? Ridiculous suggestion that anyone could eat just one slice of chocolate orange. Um, yeah, you got me there. You got me there. You got me there. At the very minimum, if you popped it somewhere, so you just had one as you're passing, you'd have one in your mouth and take one for when you finished at the shore, at least. But yeah, normally you sit down and eat the whole thing. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, sugar is the Western downfall for sure. I think sugar has basically done way more harm than a lot of other things. There's many drugs out there that have done way less harm than all the sugar. I mean, you think about the just the damage to people that's done, and it's the slow ones that you don't notice. That's where the real harm comes. Oh, don't tell me this is gonna be that. Oh no, that's fine. That's weird. I think it's Dr. Boo saying I like your purity. I can show that one. Something's get modded for no reason. Oh. Nose picking, fun but dirty habit. Yeah, I used to do that when I was little. The old pick and flick. Oh dear. No, biting my nails is one. I bite my nails. I really want to stop that one. I did manage to stop it for a little while there, and every now and then I can. That's more of like a self-soothing kind of stress management kind of thing. Yeah, but I don't like that. That's a bad habit of mine. Yeah. You scaring people off, are you? Fair play. GCat saying, I would try, but you need 1+1 for lucky, and 1+1 for lucky and one for the journey home. Then you may as well eat the rest. Oh, I see what we're talking about. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, most of the time if I'm having chocolate, I just sit down and I just unwrap the whole thing and already eat the whole thing. But as I've been getting better with like chocolates and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't do that now. I'm a bit more like got a little bit more self-control. But yeah, I mean, I think I've talked about this like with cream eggs and stuff like that. I'd have like 12 in one go when I was younger, and yeah, it wouldn't be unheard of for me to eat an entire chocolate orange as well as a load of other stuff. Like a chocolate orange would just be like one part of a big snack. Like, yeah, I was like a black hole for like chocolate and sweets and stuff. Yeah, bad stuff. Yeah, that is the most unusual thing, Gracie, that you're making any level of sense in the chat, and actually, it's more that you're stringing together lots of things that make sense. Normally, you're very random and eclectic with what you say, so I'm starting to think something is sus tonight. I don't know what it is. You're acting like a grown-up rather than like a crazy teenager. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm just feeling like it's a bit sus. I'm gonna put another log on. Got that big one to go. which is now preheated a little bit. It's not so cold. Should light up pretty well. I'll do a little left-handed jiggery pokery, trying not to do myself in. I expect that to go pretty quickly. Yeah, not bad that. Yeah, I can feel that's all actually really dry. It was just cold. So there's not a lot of dampness on that wood at all. It's really nice. Oh, Dwayne's off. See you, Dwayne. Thanks for popping in. How did you make an Easter egg last days when you were a kid? I did not make an Easter egg. Do you know, I'd get like, I don't know, a dozen Easter eggs on the day. They'd be gone. They'd be gone in the day. No joke. All the eggs, all the stuff that's in them. No. I mean, and you'd be lucky to have like I'd try my best to like leave a few for the next day or something. But yeah, I was terrible as a kid. I had no self-control over anything sugary. What's this? Well, you weren't acting like a grown-up the other day. Gracie. I don't know what to make of you these days. You have suddenly started putting loads of this stuff up on your channel that looks like it's just all this kind of like what do you call it, drone like footage of just like roads and stuff and whatnot. It's very generic stuff though. Like if you're going to do it, you might as well actually film your own stuff and like film some really cool footage and stuff like that. I mean, if you are actually driving, people love the driving. It's just crazy. You just film the road ahead. Jeez, it's crazy how good the streams go when I do the driving streams. They go massive. So I think by like in any way that I look at it compared to what I normally do. Not that anyone stays for a huge amount of time for that. I think they pop in and out quite a bit or something like that. They do stay a bit longer for those than my random chat like this. Yeah, that looks going to go nicely when it actually gets going. Let's give it a little bit more air. A bit more airflow. Oh, Hagamento is in. Should I read the do you mean the Kama Sutra? Because that is surely not how you spell Kama Sutra. I don't know, maybe it is. It looks like Kama Sutra. I've never read it. I've heard plenty of good things about it. But yeah, if you need some instructions, you go ahead and read that thing. See, this is the untrusting part of me, Gracie. You say it's drone footage from you, and I'm like, but not all of it's drone footage though either. So I'm like, it's like a bit of a mishmash of different things. So I'm a bit like, yeah, I don't know. I'm an untrusting kind of guy most of the time. To be fair, my trust is very slowly earned. I'm very kind of, I think it's a weird kind of contradiction in a way. Like a lot of people online are very cagey about like giving away too much information and they hide a lot of stuff. Whereas I'm fairly open about myself and what I do, but that doesn't mean I trust people. Like, you know, like I think it's like a weird one. Like we had I think is he in the chap who was asking me about it? Was it GCat who asked me about this, or was it somebody else? But somebody popped in and was just immediately asking me about like what my thoughts about me putting my sons on the internet, and I was like, well, you know, we're not doing anything that you wouldn't do in a public place like a pub or anything like that. And I kind of see that a bit like what I do with the fan. Like people see me all the time. Just, you know, the people in this area are very used to me just being in my van and being about. And I can't walk around being worried that somebody's going to come up to the van and knock on the door or anything like that. And if some random person's watching me on YouTube and decides they want to come and find me when I'm stealth camping or knock on my door when I'm parked somewhere in the van, it's not like any different to me than somebody else knocking. And I'm, depending on how that person behaves and looks, I may or may not invite them in for a tour. and I may or may not deal with them. It's a case to case basis on the situation and the person, because I've definitely had people knock and got chatting to them, and after a little while, if I sense they're okay, they can come in. I mean, the weird one is like when the boys would make friends, and sometimes the boys would like invite their friends in, and they'd be like, "No, it's all right, so you can come in." And you can tell the kid's a bit like nervy, like, "Am I allowed to go in this random van?" And I'm like, a bit like, "Yeah." And sometimes I'm like, "Well, boys, maybe they want to check with their parents first if it's okay, that sort of thing. You don't just go into random people's houses or random vehicles without checking with a parent first." And the boys are like, "Oh yeah, well, I suppose," because the boys don't always think of it like that, because to them it's just them inviting somebody into their home. But I'm like, "Yeah, check," and so that I send them off to go and check. But it's around. But then they usually get the okay and they're in, and then suddenly you got this, the boys giving some kids a tour of their rooms and stuff and everything, and it's all excitement for them, and I'm there going, bloody hell, I'm just trying to sit around for my evening, chilling out. um, um, oh, Beth's still here. I thought you'd maybe left us, Beth. Uh, um, no, I thought it was some. I thought it was. Yeah, it's brilliant. I can't remember who it was, Beth, but somebody came in asking about that, and it was a legit question. They got a little bit of heat for it for asking the question. I'm like, no, ask away. I love a little bit of a little bit of a debate. Tough questions, not a big deal. Not that there's many tough questions. I just answer what I think. I think it's a weird one actually. With a lot of things in life, there's no right and wrong answer. It's just what you think. If we're talking opinions, there's no right and wrong answers. It's all opinion. If someone asks me a fact about something, I'm going to either tell it because I know it, or if I don't, I'm going to say I don't know it. Yeah, and then that's another one. People get all like weird, like about not wanting to admit they don't know something. I'm like, well, I'm not. I'm not Google. I don't. And even Google don't know everything. But I'm not Google. I don't know even like a fraction of what you can find out if you Google it yourself. So maybe go and ask the fact to Google. Like, but it's yeah. I just some people. I tell you, that's probably like one of my pet peeves as well. Is people who think they know everything or who want people to think that they know everything. I'm like, oh, just give it up. You don't have to know everything. It's crazy. Right, let me. I'm just realising that this is all a bit. This could be a bit better like that. There we go. You can see the fire a bit more now without the chat in the way. I assume that's better for some people's. Oh dear. Right, we've been going for a little over an hour and a half now. I think it's time to probably call this. We don't want to end up with another late one. It was like, I can't remember. It's like 3 hours yesterday, I think we were streaming for, and it ended up getting super, super late because we didn't start that early anyway. But yeah, but lovely to have everyone in, as always. I know I haven't done so much chatting this evening. It's been a bit more of an activity one rather than a chat, but yeah, it's it's needed sometimes. But I'm really happy to get all that. Um, yeah, yesterday was great chat, especially with you, Beth. It's always lovely chatting to you. Sorry if I was bugging you in the comment section afterwards. I like to chit chat, so sometimes, and I get used to chatting to Gracie, and now it's kind of like I think skewed my perspective. And I'm like, I'm chatting away to people in the comment section sometimes. But yeah, I'm a bit of one to I'm one of those people. It's hard to shut me up when I've got going with a bit of chat. But thankfully tonight I didn't get going so much, so it's easier to stop. He says, "I'll be another half an hour saying goodbye when I." Yeah, it's yeah, you're right, Gracie. It was almost midnight yesterday, I think. Right, but yeah, thanks everyone, and as always, I'll be back tomorrow. If you can stomach me, I'll see you then. But for now, love you all. Have fun.